Hey, welcome back to Comics Characters Chronology. I am your host, Rhett, and be sure to check out our intro video if you want to see what we do on this channel. And while you're at it, like, subscribe, all that kind of jazz. Let's get started. Alright, so this is Batman's third ever appearance. It's in Detective Comics number 29. We always like to start with the cover here. So it's cover dated July of 1939. For me, it's a great action shot. I love all the small details in this. The bats in the window are great. The knife falling from the hand, excellent. The skull on the books. And of course the test tube falling from Dr. Death's hand right there. All of it really together, I think, puts you in a scene and shows you there's really a story going on here. Alright, so let's look next at who's behind this issue. Alright, so the cover that we just saw, Pencils and Inks by Bob Kane, colors unknown. And for the story itself, we have Gardner Fox actually doing the script. Not someone you think of necessarily with Batman, but someone who did a few stories here and there. Bob Kane doing the pencils and the inks, and unknown for our colors and letters, although I think letters probably Bob Kane. That's often what we see assumed. And lastly, I just want to mention a couple places this is reprinted. It's in the Batman Archives Volume 1, Batman the Golden Age Omnibus Volume 1, and Batman the Golden Age Volume 1, as well as, of course, on DC Infinite. Alright, time for a quick story summary. Alright, Dr. Carl Helfern, also known as Dr. Death, or later to be known as Dr. Death, wants Batman out of the way so he can commit the crime of extorting wealthy individuals with his new pollen-based poison that he's just recently perfected. He sets a trap for Batman, but that fails, and then later sends out his assistant Jabba to, take out someone, the punishment for not paying tribute, one of the individuals who has refused to pay him. Luckily, Bruce Wayne, who had been following Jabba, is trailing him on the street, manages to save the man without Jabba noticing, and then follows him to Dr. Death's hideout, obviously planning to visit later that night as Batman. He breaks into Dr. Death's hideout, chases him down, and in the process of a scuffle down in the lab, there is a fire, and Dr. Death appears to die. Maybe. I don't know. He was laughing and calling Batman a fool as he died, so we'll see. Perhaps Dr. Death is not so vulnerable to his namesake. Alright, so there's one little story note here I want to highlight. In the process of reaching out to Batman to challenge him and frame him, Dr. Death reaches out to him through a public notice in the newspaper asking him to pick up a letter at the post office under the name of John Jones. It seems like it's possible that there might be more than one John Jones in Gotham City, and maybe they would get the letter first, but evidently not a concern, and Bruce Wayne, pretending to be John Jones, did end up getting it. But it does lead to the question of why wouldn't the police maybe pick that up first if someone is calling out for Batman and they know Batman is involved in fighting crime and they're the police, supposed to be fighting the crime. Weird. Alright, so this is the first sort of acknowledgement of Batman's utility belt. We've seen him wearing it in previous appearances, but here we actually see him packing it up, getting it ready to go, including these absolutely absurd suction cup thingies. Strange that we didn't see that in The Dark Knight Rises. We also see Batman receive his first bullet wound, as well as his absurd excuse that he gives to the doctor, where he says that he accidentally shot himself, and the doctor asks how, and Bruce Wayne basically says, well, I do crazy things. Apparently that's all the excuse you need. And along with things that wouldn't fly in today's comics, we also see Batman picking up some crooks' guns and pointing it at them, threatening them with it, as well as threatening to shoot them. Basically saying, if you don't give up the information, I will kill you. And based on the last couple of issues, I don't think we have a whole lot of reason to doubt that Batman would do that. We've already seen him, at least take one life and probably another. So with a body count of, one per appearance, Batman is not really the protector of life that we think of him as nowadays. All right, and lastly, I just want to say I really like the title panel for this issue. I don't know what it is about it exactly, but it jumps out at me. I think the logo and font here for the name is good. The eerie image of Batman in the window, as well as our villain sort of front and center tinkering away. It's just a good image overall. All right, that's it for this one. Please join us next time as we're going to be talking about The Amazing Spider-Man. We'll be discussing Spider-Man's third overall appearance, which is actually his second story in Amazing Spider-Man #1. So join us then. Thanks.